aren't allowed to keep their assessment tasks. That the teachers must keep their assessment tasks and the learners must take a photograph of their assessment tasks to show their parents. Because the teacher must have these assessment tasks and must keep them for 2 years, including, this was consumer studies, including their recipe books for 2 years. Now, if you're a consumer studies learner, that recipe book is your source for life. That's why you've been taking the subject, so that you're going to go into something of that nature, and you want, this is a major resource of yours. You can't capture it at school. Art portfolios are also kept, but only for until after the results have been approved by Umunusi. So be careful. What is being said that is actually not educational. As far as I'm concerned, the child needs to see the test. When you did feedback, you went over the test, what was right, what was wrong, and has made notes on that test paper for use for studying. That's at the higher level. I don't know how it applies lower down. Okay. We are there. Okay, that's my first dog. If you've been going to conferences for a long time, I've shown you this picture at conference before. This is a perversion of education, just as it's a perversion of a dog. This is a nice poodle who's now being corrupted by somebody who's decided to color it. I have a hobby horse, and I call ourselves professional activists. And a professional activist fights this kind of perversion. So if we see this kind of perversion, fight it. The poodle is not supposed to be like that. It's a very clever dog. I know it's paraded around by fancy ladies in some places, but it's not what it's supposed to be. What is education supposed to be? Let's parade it around as it's supposed to be and resist it. And then, don't be scared. It's all about attitude. Here's the rhino, and here's the dog. That's the, you remember the dog's, the leader is the dog, you're the dog. You are chasing this rhino. Out of my school, out of my school. Occasionally, we are a good union and we tend not to do bad things. Like other unions may do things not so good. But when we had a whole school evaluation many years ago, fortunately they haven't come back for a long time, they didn't want to release the reports on the teachers, to the teachers. And I said, sorry, you're not coming back tomorrow unless you will. The gates of Parktown will be locked. You will find it, it's just like other unions. We will not let you in. Because if you are going to watch them and make statements about them, we want to see what you are saying. Fine. They didn't believe that this was going to come out of the school, because they were also only doing less resistant schools at that stage. Other schools were resisting. So I said, the doors will be locked. Okay, they all go away. Next day they came back and we could see the reports. So you can take it. You need to know what you're standing on. You're standing on your professional status, you're standing on your knowledge, you're standing on your ability to judge what is professionally right in your context. You have to know what is policy. And there was no policy saying teachers can't get their reports. The educational thing is teachers must get their reports, so you can ask for it. So don't be scared. And then, I have learned a new thing. I've learned a new thing while I have been ill. People have given me coloring books. And if you know me, you think, how can she actually sit still and even have time to color in? I'm doing quite well in my coloring in books. My secretary actually sent this to me yesterday, and she sent it to me. She said, thinking of you, and it is too. So it goes back to, you have to cool off, you have to calm down, take time. The book, one of the books I've got is sort of mindfulness, and it really is good, because as you're doing the coloring, you're actually slowing down and you're thinking. And you're thinking through things, and you can be far more rational and work out what's important and what's not important. And you don't have to be reactive to everything. You can actually give it a nice green. I've got lots of pages with green. It's a green thing. This is not a fiery book. We can actually handle this less proactively. You don't have to fight everything. You don't have to win everything. I'm I'm fed up with my deputy passed it on because she came to the conference. He says, I think you'll have to deal with this today. Okay. A child who got a tracksuit from our school shop, from the person who said, take it, it's very cold to try on at school. So she said, take it home, try it on at home, and if it isn't the right size, bring it back, and I'll give you another one, no problem. So she goes home that day, but she comes to school wearing it the next day. And she's now been in it since early morning and it's break. She's come now to change it. So the person in charge of the shop says, no, I can't. It's now a worn tracksuit. Of course, the mother was up in arms and tackled the deputy, wanted to see me, but I wasn't there, luckily. And, but I had to deal with it yesterday. So I think it's like Woolworths. I'm sure they have these customers as well. Sometimes you just have to give in. And in fact, we had to say, come with the tracksuit. The person will assess whether the 38 or the 36 will be better. If the 36 is much better, we will swap it. But please make sure she doesn't wear the tracksuit when she comes to school tomorrow, that you bring it in the packet. And this used one is now going to have to be a sample. We've got samples that will get tried on. Now it's a sample. It's a loss to the school. But it's a battle that we just couldn't win that battle. The deputy, if she had been, would have wanted to win the battle, but because she's still got 20 years of fire left in her, and maybe more. 20 years of fire. Yeah, she would have fought it a bit more, but it would have taken a lot out of her. But you get a bit older and you decide where you want to spend the fire. So if I can just tell you, tackle them, but it needs to be important things that you tackle. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anthea. Sometimes you do things in faith, and when we put this whole program together, the one thing that I did request was that Anthea would speak, and we were wondering about her health, but we were very fortunate and privileged to have her here this morning, and thank you very much for that presentation. Thank you. Now, you now have to take your tea, put it in your mouth, and